Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. We are very glad you are here. Welcome to a busy day. Today is Club Day and Music Day. A lot of excitement, a lot of chaos. We're going to have a good time today. We are looking forward to pulling this off. Ready? Here we go. So today is Club Day. Club Day we aim to do 2 times a year. So today is the fall version. What you are going to see today is, after we finish up with our practice for music for Liturgy Sunday next week, what you're going to see today is a panel of people who are going to speak to you about why they lead the groups that they lead. They're going to talk to you about how those groups have impacted them personally. They are going to lay out a little bit of how and why you might want to get involved in that group. The reason we hold Club Day is because, as you've you've heard this before, groups are how we work the circle at Common Thread. So once we get through our morning business and our music, we will have a lineup of panelists. They will go down the line taking turns, talking to you about the leadership of their groups. And then we will pause. We will do a little inward looking, because today is the day we hope that people will reflect on the season of their life that they are in, what their church can offer to them, and more importantly, what kind of commitment we can make back to our church this fall in terms of engagement with the groups. So what you'll do, you'll get a chance to hear about the groups. You'll get a chance to ask a bunch of questions about them. We will then break into small groups. You'll get to do a little bit more reflection about that season of life and the commitment question. Doug will speak more to that later. And then we are going to use the What Are You Thinking period today to do the most chaotic aspect of Life Story Group, of Club Day, which is forming the life story groups. So we're going to make it fun because there'll be food, there'll be mixing, we will have tables set up. So those are all of the things that are going to happen today. So again, welcome to Club Day. Good morning, and we are very glad you're here. We are going to fast track a little bit here, so I am skipping the how are you doing, but do know, of course, as always, that we have listeners in the back. We have a meditation room down the hall now. If you are having one of those days in which you would like to have someone to speak with, there are always ample resources. Let us say, as we do each week, our affirmation. If you are here, you belong. If you are here, you belong. We are, every one of us, carriers of the inner light. We are, every one of us, carriers of divine breath. We are, every one of us, carriers of divine breath. Welcome. Okay, we'll go through the announcements. Some of these events you will hear today from the panelists, but we have a lot coming up. We're excited about our fall season of possibilities. And a heads up, before we wade into this, connect the community. You don't see it today, but you'll begin seeing it soon. We have 3 all-day retreats on the weekends coming up within the next 6 weeks. We've got our Enneagram seminar. We have our first ever contemplative retreat, and in a month, we have a self-awareness retreat that takes place out of town. So be thinking now that we have 2 back-to-back Saturday seminars, and in a month, a long weekend seminars, a retreat. So plan accordingly. So lots of chances to connect in the community. We have the CTC Brew Crew, the drop-in group, the volunteering at the men's shelter, the Saturday seminar for Enneagram, a drop-in self-awareness that Christy and Laura are going to offer, and of course coming up, the on-campus contemplative retreat. I went through that very quickly, so if you were interested in one of those things and want to find out more about it, how could you possibly do that? Well, you could go to the Church Center app, and if that's still not something you're comfortable using, today being Club Day is a good chance to walk up to someone who looks like they might know and ask them to help you know your way around that. Also, of course, the website, and then Thursdays, the weekly email. Our annual picnic was not on the list because it's a little bit, I think we're still about 3 weeks out. So a heads up for the annual picnic at Lake Wheeler Park. One of the most important parts of the slide that I do want to draw your attention to is that space is limited. So if this is something that you are planning to come to, please do register early. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a squeeze. And before I finish up the announcements, I just saw her. Please, Angie.
Josh is here today, and he could use a ride home. It's 9 minutes from here off the street. Does anyone have the capacity to take him? If not, of course, we'll take care of him.
All right, let's get on to the business of our day. Please prepare your donations for the community. We all give online now. The donate button is at the top of the website. Lots of options, very easy to give. If you're here in Raleigh or just joining us from far away for the first or multiple times, we invite you to please take an ownership stake in the community. And remember what was said earlier, always a good return, the investments we make in our spiritual community. What comes back is worth much more than we put in. So again, please go to the website. It's about as easy as it can be. Enjoy Club Day.
All right, today we have 2 songs, something old, something new. So we're going to start with something old, which is not a reference to myself. This is Easter Alleluia. We've renamed it Everyday Alleluia because why not? Why save it for Easter? So this is call and response. I'll sing, you sing the same thing back to me. As we get into the song, you'll be able to tell what your part is. Alleluia is all the words you need to know.
Grateful songs we sing this morning, Alleluia. Our new life all around transforming, Alleluia. God of sky and trees and stars, Alleluia. Bearing fruit within our hearts, Alleluia. We are seeing with each breath, hallelujah. Real growth as we welcome death, hallelujah. Once we die to needless strife, hallelujah. The path is clear to our new life, hallelujah. The divine in all we see, hallelujah. Above in you, here in me, hallelujah. Letting go of self this way, hallelujah. We are each reborn this day, hallelujah. There you go.
yet. All right, we're going to jump to a new song. This is called It's a Beautiful Day. This is a special request from Shelby. So you better like it. You know how she gets. All right. So we're going to go south to the Caribbean. We're going to avoid the hurricane, but we're going to borrow the music. All right. So I'm going to teach this to you. I'm going to teach you part of it today and part of it next week. And so I'll sing a little, and you'll sing it back to me, and we will learn it together. It goes like this. God, I thank you for sunshine. Your turn, sing. God, I thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. Okay, so that first part goes like this. God, I thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. Let's try that together. Ready, sing with me. God, I thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. Good. Here's the next part. There it is. It's a beautiful, ready, and go. It's a beautiful. Now we got 5 A's coming up, so brace yourself. It's a beautiful day. Try that with me. It's a beautiful day. Good. And then the next line. It's a beautiful day. Try that with me. It's a beautiful day. So I'm going to put those 2 beautiful day lines together. Listen once. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Try that with me. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Okay, good. And then, so let's do that whole first part. God, I thank you for sunshine. 1, 2, 3, here we go. God, I thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Now, that's the first half of the chorus. The second half is exactly the same until you get to the very end. So we're gonna sing it. I'm gonna stop it where it changes. So now we're picking it up where we stopped. God, I thank you for sunshine. Here we go. God, I thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful stop. It's a beautiful day. Listen again. It's a beautiful day. Sing that with me. Ready and go. It's a beautiful day. And then the last little bit. It's a beautiful day. Go. It's a beautiful day. So let's do the second half. God, I thank you for sunshine. We'll pick up that last little note. You'll catch it just fine. God, I thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Yeah. All right, we got it. Now, if we could jump to the part that says, maybe this is the next slide, I don't want to act too high and mighty because tomorrow I may fall down on my face. It's much cuter when the 9-year-old Haitian boy sings it in the recording. but I'll do the best I can. I'll sing, you sing. I don't want to act too high and mighty. Your turn, go. I don't want to act too high and mighty. Good. 'Cause tomorrow I may fall down on my face. 'Cause tomorrow I may fall down on my face. Here's the whole thing there. I don't want to act too high and mighty, 'cause tomorrow I may fall down on my face. Your turn. 2, here we go. And I don't want to act too high and mighty, 'cause tomorrow I may fall down on my face. God, I thank you for sunshine. And you got it. All right. Let's do it. Oh, I forgot one thing. Get ready. God, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day. God, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Sometimes life is good, then trouble comes my way. But whatever happens, God, I thank you for this day. When I'm feeling troubled, I lift my hands and pray that we'd all be one in the rain or sun. Oh, it's a beautiful day. I don't want to act too high and mighty, 'cause tomorrow I may fall down on my face. God, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. God, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Tune in next week for a really cool trumpet solo. Here we go. We'll learn this part next week. I give thanks when I'm feeling lonely. I give thanks when I'm feeling glad. I give thanks in the morning and thanks in the evening and thanks when I'm feeling sad. I don't want to act too high and mighty, 'cause tomorrow I may fall down on my face. God, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. God, I thank you for sunshine. Come on. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Well done. Now it's time for Club Day. pushing it to the perimeter. Do you need one mic or two? Two.
Yep, you're in a straight line. And as you're being seated, as you're being seated, as you're being seated, all right, before we start, if you're going to be doing a group, now's the time to come up here and find yourself a seat. Now's the time. Come on up. Yep. Now's the time. Come on up. Find a chair. Find a chair. Find a chair. And it occurred to me, unless we can get them in order, so you're going to have to stand at the mic. I'm sorry, folks. Okay, while we're getting everybody seated, it is probably true that you look at me and you think to yourselves, that's a wise old man. And you would not be wrong. You would not be wrong. So, so if you think this is a wise old man, I think that's a wise old man. So how wise must that guy be, huh? I would like to introduce you to Jack. Jack, stand up for just a second. Jack Fallow is a dear friend of mine, but he's also started off being our community's consultant as we've been going on this journey thinking of many different ways to be church. And he was going to be in the States, and so I persuaded him to swing by and stay at my house for a week. And so then what he's going to do is meet with us through the course of this week. And what he describes it as is he borrows our watch and then he tells us what time it is. And so he's kind of a guru in organizational thinking, and we are so fortunate that he likes us. So here's what's going to happen today. Today I was going to have him meet with the board, but several of the board members are going to be out of town. So if you would like to sit with them and just let him ask you a bunch of questions about your experience of being part of the community, that would be great. After we get Club Day all finished, that'll be happening down in the fellowship hall. Anybody interested in doing that? Let me just see how many people might be there. All right, that'll be a quorum. We got a quorum. All right, so what are we doing today? What is Club Day? To answer what Club Day is, where'd I put the flipper? Oh, we've already in trouble now.
This gets to the old man part.
Yeah, that's the old one. Oh, it's in my pocket. All right, now you two are going to have to scoot apart a little bit because eventually I'm going to have to get back because we got a little technology problem. All right, so. Oh, do I need it, or can I use this one? Yeah, I know. I figured that out. So, What is Club Day and why do we do this thing? By the way, we used to do this twice a year. Heather was referencing that. We are going to do it once a year now. So here, to know what Club Day is, you have to know what Working the Circle is. So here's what Working the Circle is. It is the organizing principle of our community. And it is the organizing principle of our community because we think it is the organizing principle of a new form of religion that is emerging from the ashes as the old forms of religion are dying. So when we think about what's happening now in the time that we get to be on this planet, we are seeing the death of one worldview, and we are seeing the death of all the institutions that are built on top of that worldview, and we are seeing the emergence of new ideas that have not yet emerged, so we don't even know what the future is going to look like, but we think that at the core of it is this. The circle is a set of very ancient practices that will transform human beings. We searched all the way back in our own tradition. We looked at other traditions. We looked to psychology and anthropology, asking the question, how do human beings transform? And what we found was it shows up on the circle. These 4 ways of practicing, of doing spiritual practice. So, in practical terms, here's what it means for us as a community. When we went and searched, we found a treasure. It is actually not that hard to find how it is that human beings transform and change. What is difficult is being able to take the incrustation of years and years of kind of losing our way from it so that these practices are usable again. So when we found this rather lengthy list of practices, we did a whole bunch of lessons on each one. We then got into groups and practiced it, and we talked about how it would work. We took all those practices, the whole big list, and we put them onto a circle, and we broke the circle into quadrants of 4, and what we got are the communal practices, the contemplative, the learning, and the serving. So, we also discovered along the way that the communal practices are not more important than any of the other 3, but we do put them first. And the reason we put the communal practices first are because if you do this whole spiritual journey in the context of relationships with other people, you actually do it. And so I started a 6:30 in the morning meditation Zoom. By the way, you're going to be invited to that along the way. But I started it because I knew that if I would do my meditation with other people, I would actually show up and do it. And so what you're going to hear today is a bunch of that. We do the practices when we do them together. So you're going to hear about a lot of ways that we do things together. And so, when I say if you've got 10 units of energy to give to the community, give 8 of them to making friends, that's the reason why. We do that because we actually do the spiritual journey when we do it together. So, Club Day once a year, and then we'll do something else when we get into the winter to talk about what's coming up then. Club Day is a time for you to reflect on your soul. What does your soul need right now? Where is the lack? Where is the need? Where is your next growing edge? So if you are potentially feeling energized, like we talked about when we do the welcoming prayer, if you're feeling that surge of energy frequently, it might be time for you to practice the contemplative in order to quiet the noise of the ego self. You might find that you need a stronger network of spiritual friends. I just saw this scroll through on our social media feed recently. Maybe what you need is a network of people where you can actually talk about your shit and know that the day after you're still going to be loved and you're still going to be accepted. And maybe that's the thing that you need is develop your communal network. Maybe you need to develop the ego self-forgetfulness that happens when we serve something bigger than ourselves. You're going to hear lots of opportunities to serve because we develop ego self-forgetfulness that way. Maybe learning is what's up for you next. Maybe you need to learn the Enneagram, or you need to learn self-awareness practice, or you need to learn how to do the conflict resolution, that's the other one. Or maybe you just need to join one of the book clubs. You're going to hear a couple of them coming up. Book clubs are kind of a twofer. You get to be the communal and you get to do the learning all together at one time. So, Club Day. What does your soul need? Time to reflect, to listen, to hear. And since this is a discernment practice, let's do shorter than we would typically do it, just a little bit of quieting the noise in our minds. So find a comfortable place there in your body. And we'll do this fewer moments than we typically do. But take a breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let your face go soft. Bring yourself to the posture that we often find in the contemplative practices, where we are available to listen, available to hear the inner nudges and the inner promptings. Breathe in, relax your body as you exhale, and breathe in and relax your mind as well. Take a few moments. Indwelling Divine, may we be listeners today, listening for the interior promptings, the small nudges. May we find our way into what truly is what our souls need in the season before us. Amen. Okay, you see that QR code? Now's the time to go there. Point your phone there. If that doesn't work for you, then you can go to our website, commonthreadchurch.org, and if you're time shifting, this won't work for you, but if you're watching today, Sunday, the 10th, the pop-up will come up automatically until tonight sometime. You can also go to our app, and it'll be right there on the homepage, so go ahead and find your way to the form. Now here's what you're going to see is a bunch of boxes that you can click, and if you click a box, here's what you're not doing. You're not committing to anything. Today, if you click a box, you are asking to be invited to something. So you will get a follow-up invitation at some point. When the invitation comes, you can turn it down. You don't have to participate. But this is, yes, I'm interested. I would like to be invited to that. So you're going to need to access that form. Elevator speakers are going to come up and give you their short spiels. You're going to listen. You're going to click the box at the end, but then down at the bottom, you're going to see a submit button. Don't click the submit button until I come up at the very end, because I'm going to have some last minute instructions. Also, don't not click the submit button, because if you don't click submit, no one will ever know what you're interested in. So yes, you're going to need to click the submit button, but don't do it until I give you some more instructions at the very end. So Kate's going to come up first, but before she does, let's use her as an example, just so you know how to use the form. So she's going to talk about the area that she works on in the community. She's going to give you a perspective on the things, and you're going to see that she has 3 check boxes. So as you're following along, you'll see what those 3 check boxes are. Some of the elevator speakers only have 1 check box, but as they go, you just click the one that is there. In the past, I have reminded people after every speaker, don't forget to click the box, and people told me, shut up, Doug, that's too much reminding. So this is your big reminder right here. Click the box after you hear the speaker. All right, Kate, come on up.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kate Kish, and I remember when I was a newcomer here, I was very overwhelmed with so much going on, and how do I navigate this all? And I found the most helpful thing was being able to hook up with other people in the community. So I met Jen, and I met Julie, and Sky, and some other friends right off the bat, and it was nice to navigate. What is working the circle? What is a worksheet? What is the Enneagram? Who is this person? So anyway, we now have a newcomers group where we're able to foster that. So please come and talk to me if you want to be a part of that, and I'll help you get plugged in and meet other people who are on this journey together, starting out. And so that's one thing I wanted to talk about. The other thing was for anybody interested in getting into the directory. If you're not already in there, come and talk to me about that, or navigating the app. Any issues with the app, let me know. And finally, if you are interested in forming a group here, have an idea for a new group or an event, come and talk to me and I'll help you get it from an idea to an actual thing. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Carol Bass. I lead the coffee and hospitality team. When you come in through those doors on Sunday morning, there should be hot coffee and snacks available and someone to greet you. If you are interested and that's something that you would like to participate in, we always have room on our team for you. The other thing that I'm involved with is social events. We've got everything from brew crew to bunko and a lot of fun ways to get to know one another. And our next big event is next month in October is our community annual picnic, which is going to be out at Lake Wheeler, and it's always lots of fun. And we have lots of needs. So if you'd like to participate in that and help out, just come see me. And I'm happy to answer questions or show you ways to get involved. Thanks.
So the next one, we're having a little bit of technology problem. So I'm going to, yep, he left the red box here. I'm going to show you what Cindy looks like, and you're not going to be able to hear her. That's Cindy getting ready to talk, and she has a very good video, and you can't hear a word she's saying, all right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back, hold on, and I'm going to do it again, only you're not going to be able to see anything because you can't see video and hear sound at the same time. It's a problem. It's not that we're unaware. All right. Can we do it now, Gene? You ready? Okay. All right, never mind. We will not do that. Let me tell you what she's saying. Cindy, no, that's Rebecca. Hold on. Cindy is saying she has found this great book. And it has to do with emotional intelligence. And she is saying that there's a fundamental difference between knowing about emotional intelligence and being able to do the actual things that bring a difference. So she wants to start a group, and it's going to be in October, and it's going to be on Wednesdays, and it's going to be during the lunch hour. And during that time, if you can tune in at lunchtime and you can talk together, you're going to go through this book that has this guy's works from the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence, and he will talk about how you do the things that actually bring about a growth in emotional intelligence. So there in your form, you will see, yes, I'd like to be invited to that book club. Yes, I can make it lunchtimes during the week. That's what Cindy is saying.
I've been reading and studying about emotions for a few years now. And
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I host the Artsy group. So the Artsy group is for anyone who enjoys making art, talking about art, just connecting with other people who also enjoy art. We welcome all skill levels, all mediums. So if you just like to craft, color, you play an instrument or write, that's also cool. We just enjoy spending time together and building friendships, sharing ideas, and encouraging each other to continue pursuing what we enjoy. So our main activity is just an open studio time here at the church where you can bring a project to work on in shared company. We also use the church app to share upcoming art events and plan outings. But this group has really just been helpful for me in feeling more connected to a bigger art community and has even started to overflow into other art groups I know in the city. So that's just really been motivating for me to continue making art, and I hope that it is for others too. Thanks.
Good morning. Excuse me. My name is John, and this next event or group is actually one that hasn't started yet. It's going to be beginning next month. It's an outdoors group. Doug has referred to a series of outdoor gatherings that are coming up, which are going to be underway beginning next month. In my own life, spending time outdoors, connecting with nature has been a wonderful space to be able to be with friends, not have an agenda, have connections. So we're trying to design some events that are accessible to all ages, to all ability levels. Our first one will be at Yates Mill Park on October 1st with some walking. We'll have some fishing. There's a fun eco center if you have little ones, picnic lunch, and a number of other events coming up, mountain biking, some water-themed events. So there's a post on the message board in the app with additional details if you'd like to learn more and RSVP, and we hope to see you there. Thank you.
I'm a lot shorter than everyone else. All right. So I'm going to give you the why of the kids and teens and everything first. So don't think of volunteering with the kids as just, childcare and being beneficial for them. I find that working with the kids, really, you'll just be amazed at how good it is for you and your soul. Experiencing working the circle and the divine and our practices in the most simple form is really good for your spirit. So we have a ton of ways that you can get involved with kids and teens. I also am, trying to do more family events like the Thrive game we did. Volunteering on Sunday mornings for sure. We always need helpers, whichever age group you're most interested in. We have done a cleanup day. We'll have some other cleanup days. It's always like it just explodes down there, so we can always use help cleaning up and organizing. Literally, even if it's not a cleanup day and you just want to come help, then awesome. Group outings, so we've started doing outings with teens, like we just went to Frankie's recently. If you're interested in hanging out with teens and being a chaperone, that's an opportunity. Literally just utilizing our space and our resources. I brought some of our resources up, so if you want to come afterwards and see what kind of books we use and what the curriculum's like and ask me about lesson plans and that sort of thing, then I'm happy to chat about that. We do also have a group in the app for what we did for kids and teens, so it'll say what we did on Sunday. We upload pictures, upcoming events, that sort of thing. I could talk forever. I guess Steph, come see me. Okay.
Hey guys, my name's Preston. I help with the community service, and I invite you to come work the circle with us when we serve. It's a great opportunity to meet new friends, deepen relationship with existing folks that we know in the community. But I would also say that you probably would get a sense of joy by doing this, or fulfillment from helping others. Just some teasers of things that are coming up here is we have a running men's shelter every third Sunday rather, from 5 to 6:30. We have coming up in October Salvation Army. Thank you, Salvation Army, where we'll be helping families register for gifts and ideas that they want for their Christmas wish list. We'll also have a cleanup outside in October where we're kind of making the campus more beautiful. And then I think really the cherry on the top is in December, when we'll be actually working with the Salvation Army and we can go play Santa, which is really cool, at their distribution center, and see all the great gifts that the world basically has donated for these families, and to box them up, per person and per kid is a really great experience to have. We'll do other things next year. How you can find out about this is click the link there that you guys are seeing. There's also a registration tab on our app, and you can find these events and register there. I hope to see you at a volunteer activity soon. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Cherie, and it's so good to see you all. So if you are heartsick about the rancor tearing our country apart, if you believe that your opponents should not be your enemies, and if you believe that America's best days lie ahead, then you should hang out with the Braver Angels group. So we are, yesterday we had an event in here. We had about 37 people doing a Depolarizing Within workshop, which went extremely well, and I feel like there was some really great energy in the room and some great conversation, learning how to talk with people who think like you, so that you can learn how to eventually talk with people who don't think like you and do that successfully. So we are reforming this group and looking forward to having everybody come together and kind of figure out what we want to do with this group. But there's tons of opportunities through the Braver Angels National Network to get involved, and also there may be some things locally where we can tie in with the One Wake group. So check the box if you're interested in learning more about that or having some say in how we form that group. Thank you.
I participate in One Wake because I feel the interior call to make the world a better place. I participate in One Wake because I have felt that for a long, long time, and I've gone out to do it, and I have gotten burned out. And now, when we think about service work and when we think about systems work and we think about the really big issues that face our world, when we think about economic disparity, when we think about racial injustice, when we think about unequal access, those are overwhelmingly large issues, and start getting involved in that and burnout happens rapidly. So, together with 50 other congregations doing winnable issue-based projects and campaigns, we can actually participate in making the world a better place and not burn out. We can do Here Now Small Doable, and our Here Now Small Doable will combine with the energies of a whole bunch of other people, and together we can make a difference. Right now you'll see in the checkboxes 3 things coming up. There's a Cary candidate forum coming up this month, people running for Cary Town Council, where we're going to ask for pledges on affordable housing. All the churches in Cary are going to bring large numbers. The churches outside of Cary are asked to bring between 3 and 5. You will also see there that there is a working team around mental health and homelessness. If you would like to be involved in that, click that box and I will show you how to get involved. You will also, if you are interested in learning how to organize our community, how to organize the broader community, there's a training, 2 sessions. They offer 4 time options, but you choose two sessions, and I have been through One Wake's training. It's very helpful. So I hope you'll click, and if you do, I will invite you to something. I'm also up here for this one. I told everyone you get 7 sentences. I counted that last one. It was 7. But now I've given another sentence in which now it's 8. Except that I just explained that I did another sentence, so now it's 9. So would you like to be invited to serve folks here in the community? If so, you will see the things on the form right now are music. If you like to sing, or if you like to play, if you'd like to learn how to develop in those areas. We're also looking at audio visual. Would you like to learn how to do sound? We will teach. You got to have a little bit of an ear, but after that, it's really just learning the technology, and we can teach you how. We actually are down a live streamer, so we need someone who would like to learn how to do the live stream. And so if you will click that box, we'll follow up with somebody. Also, that work day that Preston mentioned a moment ago here with Ridge Road, that's more than just coming out and spreading mulch. It's also us trying to figure out how to develop relationships with other communities meeting on this campus, because we think the future of the church is going to have to take all of these nearly empty campuses all over our city, really all over our nation, and begin to reconfigure how we use them. And we think that the skill sets required to develop relationships, to share spaces together, is going to be an essential point for the stability and longevity of all of our communities over time. So if you'd like to come and spread mulch and be part of something that's bigger than mulch spreading, click that box. Thank you. Scott.
Hey, I'm Scott Shackleton. I'm somewhat of a nomad, so some of you may not have seen me recently, but being a nomad, I really appreciate the opportunity to remain connected and form real friendships and spiritual community at Common Thread. So that's why I'm part of the remote community team. And we have an objective of facilitating spiritual community with those who are not local to Raleigh. For now, that means the live stream. So there's some folks right now watching. It means What Are You Thinking Online, which we do right after the live stream each week. Life story groups, book clubs. You heard about Cindy's book club coming up. They happen on a regular basis. And then there's some events that, that don't happen regularly. They happen kind of as people get ideas. In the future, the remote community team might mean something bigger. It might mean small groups of people in other places of the world that have our values and form a similar spiritual community and stay connected to us. But things like that are going to take some volunteers. So whether you're remote or primarily local, check out the remote community team because we need helpers from both places. Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Morgan Herr. I'm in charge of the Hearts and Meals team, and that used to be community care team, so you might have heard that before. What we do at community care is we reach out to individuals we know are having a hard time or just need to be supported. Here at Common Thread, we often talk about how important taking care of yourself is, and that is, self-care is very important, but really to thrive as a community, we need community care. So many times I have been supported by this community when I was going through something really difficult, and it just lifted my spirits, lifted my heart, and I was able to continue knowing that these people have my back. So thank you for that in this wonderful community. So please join me in continuing to help each other, whether it's providing a meal or just some time to sit with someone and listen. Thanks.
I'm speaking on behalf of Christy, who can't be here today. I only have value when I complete a task competently. If I have boundaries, I will end up rejected and alone. I am only safe if I am in charge. We all carry around stories like these, and they cause us a lot of pain. And usually, we are not even aware that we believe these stories. When life bumps up against one of these stories, we may have an episode that causes us to feel upset, angry, uncomfortable, afraid, or sad. We might call these afflictive emotions. And we may react in an undesirable or unhelpful way, perhaps by yelling, shutting down, or saying unkind things. And we might call these sins. Well, the self-awareness practice at Common Thread helps us to work through these emotions when they happen. They help us to look at ourselves with compassion and curiosity, help us identify triggers and patterns in our lives, and best of all, help us to grow by releasing our stories, seeing how our stories are not the truest truth, healing our pain, and connecting with our truest divine selves. So if you want to unpack an emotionally afflictive circumstance in your own life, you actually don't need to join a club. You can always just go to the website, download and complete the worksheet, then make an appointment with one of our trained listeners to get insight into what these stories are, why they hurt so much, and why they cause us to behave and react the ways that we do. But if you'd like to learn how to become a listener, we have some drop-in self-awareness demonstrations coming up after church on the dates listed on the app, I guess when you click there, to get you started. And if you have questions, you can always reach out to Christy Phillips, who's the leader of these practices. Stay there. I was wondering if that's what was going to happen. I wasn't sure, so. So the contemplative practices, as Doug said, that's one of the quadrants, one of the 4 ways in which we work the circle here at Common Thread. And we do quite a few things here. Many of you participate already in the weekday morning meditations online on Zoom, 6:30. We do contemplative Sundays here, and we do meditations most Sundays during the service. We do centering prayer on the 2nd and 4th Sundays here before the service, and we also do it online Zoom Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. And we're going to be doing more and more of these things. And we're going to kind of kick all of this off with our contemplative retreat, which is going to be a unique opportunity to actually engage all of those quadrants of the circle, because it will be a communal opportunity to learn and experience contemplative practices. And even to sign up, if you want to help us make that happen, you can serve CTC by doing that. And the one other thing that I want to say about contemplative living is that when you are faithful in these practices, it changes you. and you wind up inhabiting every other quadrant of the circle in different ways because you're able to draw more deeply from the life of the divine that is within you. So I just encourage you to consider coming out to the retreat that day and being communal in your contemplative practices with folks here at Common Thread. And
Come to the retreat if you're not there all day?
you can come for all day or any part of the day. You do not need to be there for the whole time. Yeah. Oh, that's right. We're also between 10 and 3 going to offer childcare. That's the plan. So if you've been hesitant because of that, go ahead and sign up and let us know that that's what you need. And you can ask me any other questions afterwards. Thanks.
I'm Heather, but I'm here to speak on behalf of Robin Camus for Enneagram. And I am a good candidate to speak on behalf of Robin because I see Robin once a week and have done so for 2 years at her home where I do Enneagram one-on-one counseling. I've also attended her Saturday seminar, and I've also done the drop-in Enneagram. So those are the 3 ways you can be involved with Enneagram at Common Thread. Of course, you can also just get a book on the Enneagram and do that at home on your own. The reason I've decided to really immerse myself in the Enneagram is that it's not, as I had thought for the first few months at Common Thread, just another personality typing system. It is a counterintuitive, sort of radically inward-looking spiritual program that encourages us to see our wiring as a kind of an acorn shell that we come into the world with. And our struggle as human beings with egos, as compared to bunny rabbits and fish, is that our wiring is there to feed us stories and feelings about about the fears that motivate us and the desires that motivate us, and seeing our wiring through the lens of an acorn, and therefore, as Robin describes on her website, it offers us a chance to grow, to break free of that shell. And as you can imagine, that breaking free process is not an easy, pleasant, fun. It's not a walk in the park. And the Enneagram will offer you the tools to counter your wiring and to engage in the spiritual life and spiritual transformation. So we would really like to encourage you to join into this work on the Enneagram in one of those 3 ways, in part because almost everybody at Common Thread is familiar with some of the vocabulary and some of the content, the concepts. And if you have those 2 things in mind because you've engaged with Enneagram in one way or another, it's a wonderful opportunity to not project and to practice self-compassion, 2 skills that you will find are very important if you're going to be part of a church community. I am also here to talk about the life story groups. So I'm going to read to you a quote that Doug had up, I think, last Sunday. Please pay no attention to the man behind the curtain here and the sides, but it relates. Okay, the quote. To understand everything is to forgive everything. So again, this comes out of the Buddhist tradition. To understand everything is to forgive everything. And once you've been in a life story group with someone, you understand everything. You may not grow to want to hang out with that person multiple times a week. You may not accept everything that you learn in your life story group, but you will understand everything, and it will lead you to forgive everything. And we are here sharing this church experience together because we are on a spiritual journey that we hope culminates in spiritual transformation. And in order to make it on that spiritual journey, we've got to have spiritual friendships. And this Life Story Group program that's been created at Common Thread offers a way to fast track through does everybody remember this? Doug talks about this quite a bit. The public belonging, the social belonging, the personal belonging, and deep belonging. The life story groups are a way to engage in all 4 with people in the community you might normally not get to hang out with. So if you'd like to do a life story group, this is your lucky day because we are going to use a bunch of the time and love the refreshments we have in the back to actually form those groups. So those papers that you saw Doug just spread out, and we might need to spread them out a little further. If you're looking to do a life story group during weekday days, weekday evenings, or weekends, We're literally going to form the groups today in person. So what that might actually look like is just exchanging contact information with 3-4 people at one of those tables. For those of you who have not heard much about Life Story Groups, we have a video, it's on the community bulletin board, that'll give you kind of the general guidelines for the reasoning behind this, some of the best practices. But what will happen at these tables, you will come up, you will try, first you will decide, do you see it in the next few months yourself having time to do this for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks? It might be too big of a group to do more than 5, because what happens is you meet weekly with as many times as you have people in your group. You take turns. One person at each meeting spends about an hour and a half to 2 hours telling their life story group. You listen, you thank for the story, the gift of the story. The following week, you take turns, you do it again. You'll find out when you look at the video at the community bulletin board, some groups integrate food, meet in public, some groups do it at home. You're welcome to do here on the campus, but basically that's the format. But the life story groups can be really transformational for our community. As I look out at you, there are people whose childhood stories I know, there are people whose major life events I'm familiar with, and so again, to understand everything is to forgive everything. I encourage you to find a group today and to go home with new spiritual friendships.
Would you tell them they did a good job? So I'm going to encourage, when you form the Life Story Group, you've heard enough to know what it is. But it's about a 10-minute video. I'm going to encourage you at the very first gathering when you get together, just pull it up on your phone and watch it with each other, because it'll give you some guidelines on how to do it, and it'll make it go a lot better. So now, questions for the large group. There will be very specific questions to talk to the time for each one of the group leaders later, but do you have any broader, any big questions or comments, or what are you thinking, what's stirring up in your heart? Go.
Doug, if I'm a member of a remote community, how might I get involved in a life story group? For example, Scott Shackleton, could he help me with that?
No, I don't think he could. So if you'd like to be in a life story group and you are remote, go to What Are You Thinking Today on Zoom. We're going to announce that in a moment. We'll give you the link and the password and everything. That's if you're remote now. If you are here and you want to be remote sometimes, just come talk to Scott. All right.
Heather, if I'm in the other room leading What Are You Thinking online?
Yeah.
If you think you're sort of interested, but you don't want to check a box today, I assume you'll get to somehow hear about these things in other ways and could jump in if today doesn't feel like a day.
So here's the thing to do today. If the levels of commitment are, man, I'm going to do that come hell or high water. Not ready for that? Okay. I'm going to click the box and somebody's going to invite me, and I'm going to be able to turn them down at some point, even when they do invite me. Well, you could do that. That's clicking a box commitment. I'm not even ready to do that yet. I don't want anybody, invading my inbox just yet. What you could do at that level is just come up and talk with somebody and say, tell me a little bit more. I'm not quite ready, but tell me a little bit more. And then the other thing you could do is, just as you said, you can wait until you hear it come up on the announcements, which it will as these things emerge. So that's how you can move forward. What are you thinking? Carol, what are you thinking? You're so nice. Who put their hand up over here? I saw it. Yeah. Remind me your name. Say hello, Sarah. Say that again. Oh, yes. Yeah, we are working really hard this time around to make as many things kid-friendly as we can. Okay, all right, so let's do this. Don't click submit yet. Before you do that, we're going to do 2 one-minute things. Remember where we started. Jack, what are you thinking? what this community thinks about children? We think that they should be seen and not heard. Here's what we think about children. So why don't you give us the two-sentence version? What do we think about children?
I think it's just mainly the idea is that we're all, each one of us carry the indwelling divine that includes our children. And especially when they're like 1, 2 years old, they don't fucking know, like that's not appropriate, that's not okay, that's the perfect time. That's when they're really speaking. They're really letting us know. So anyway, the divine is within them. We want to hear from them. We want to be interrupted by them.
We want the messiness of kids. That's what we want. Because you don't get kids without the messiness, but you also don't get the joy, everything that Jack just talked about, if you don't have kids. So we just have to factor in, we do messiness. All right, before we begin, there's too much to do. You cannot do all the stuff you heard today. So you're going to have to be selective. But here's the thing that I want to encourage you to do. As you go through and look at your list and all those little click boxes, I would encourage you not to be asking the question, what do I want to do? I would encourage you not to be asking the question, what do I like? I would encourage you instead to ask this question, what does my soul need? And for that, you kind of need something more than just your go-to, yeah, I'm comfortable with that, or yeah, I like that, oh yeah, that's fun, ooh, I like doing that. You sometimes what your soul needs might be something that you don't like, something that you don't feel really positive toward. So we're going to do two things. I'm going to give you 1 minute, and you're going to go through and look at that whole list again. And this time you're going to be looking for just a little tiny ping that says, you know what, I really should click that box. Or you know what, I should really unclick that box. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Don't start yet. Then I'm going to give you 1 more minute. And what you're going to do is you're going to tell someone next to you what you're leaning toward. And the reason for that is because when that comes out of your mouth, it gives you a chance to listen to yourself talking and then monitor what you just heard yourself say. Because that's also another way to discern. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to look through it again, and then 1 more minute to say to another person, I'm leaning toward this, or I'm not leaning toward anything, and then just listen to yourself and see what you think. Preston, what do you think?
Would you mind putting the QR code up one more time?
Yes, I can. There it is. Yep. Okay. Yes. Yeah, you form those groups at the seminar. Mm-hmm. Yep. Ooh, did we put a checkbox in there for? We didn't. Oh. Would you do me a favor and talk to Heather, because she was representing, and say, I'm not going to go to the seminar, but I would like to be in an Enneagram group.
You have to have been to a Saturday
Yeah.
seminar, but not necessarily this one. If you were at one a couple of years ago, you're
Perfect.
fine.
All right. Anything else? Okay, are you ready? Well, wait a minute, I got to get my timer. 1 minute, go. Lots of you look finished. I'm not going to finish out that minute. All right, 1 minute. Tell someone what you're leaning toward or not leaning toward, and listen to yourself as you do. Go. You're listening to yourself as you're saying the words out loud. Okay. All right, that's your minute. That's your minute. That is your minute. Okay, that is your minute. Those of you online, we're going to dismiss you a little differently than we normally do. I'm just going to encourage you to go over to the What Are You Thinking, because what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be chatting. And over on the What Are You Thinking on Zoom, you all are going to be chatting too. You just saw Scott beat a hasty exit to get out there for a laptop. He'll be meeting you there. So if you want to be on that Zoom, you go to the notes there in YouTube or go to the front page of our website. If it asks you for a password, the password is 1417. I would encourage you to join the Zoom 1417. Over time, what we find is even online, you can start making friends who become quite precious in your life. You are dismissed. God bless you. See y'all later. All right, those of us still in the room, here's what we are going to do right now. What's going to happen is, Nick, have you dismissed the